Oh, okay, yes. I was just talking off air then, guys, about my intro completely spazzing out. And yep, right on cue, it spazzed itself out again. But guys, this is Matic TV without the cool intro music, obviously. That's just done a Burton today. But we're here. It's Sunday. It's international break. Everyone's a little bit more chilled out. The boys are with me today. Let's get into everyone who's on the show with us today and say hello. Keen, just finished work, mate. Rocking the old retro 2007, I think that one is it?
Yeah, it's 06, 07 jersey, yeah.
Yeah, I remember it well, mate. How you doing, pal? You good, mate?
All good, all good. Been a quite grand international break for me. Ronaldo's still in Dublin at the moment, still in Shane Duffy's pocket, so it's all good.
That's funny.
That's it, mate. And like I said, Republic of Ireland, well, not the Republic of Ireland, but Ireland beating the All Blacks yesterday. Big result on that side of the sporting avenues for the Irish, mate. Shame your international team isn't as exciting as your rugby team, I'm afraid. But anyway,
yeah, wait till it gets to the World Cup. Our rugby team is useless when it comes to the World Cup, but we do well off season. We're like United.
That reminds me of some other team on the big occasion comes around, mate. But we may get onto that in a minute. But first of all, Jamie, how's it going, mate? You've not been on for a while, pal. Not been to a game for a while. I've seen your post on social media. Looks like your young team is doing okay, I'm guessing. The pictures all look happy, mate. But how's life, mate, for you? All good?
Okay, we're top of the storming. I'm beating those.
Go see. I was right.
Okay. Nah, we're doing all right, mate. I'm doing all right as well. Thanks very much for having me back on and seeing familiar faces back on as well, which is spot on. So let's get into it.
Yep, and we are gonna start the show with Saeed yesterday. The man in the news, everything going on yesterday with the protest that didn't happen, Saeed. He's not got an issue with me saying it or bringing it up. We spoke about this already privately, and Saeed wouldn't shirk away from telling us exactly what was going on and what was said around Old Trafford yesterday. He was there. But first of all, Saeed, mate, as Sundays go, how's your Sunday been, first of all, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, man. I was doing my laundry, and I tell you what, mate, it was a circus in there, man. The whole town decided to come on a Sunday, and yeah, it was just packed out. But yeah, other than that,
I didn't know you did your laundry at Old Trafford, mate. To be honest. Oh, you don't mean that circus? No, you're not mean. Oh, right, I got you.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Saeed, let's kick off, mate. Obviously, yesterday. Everyone's all bullish online. I mean, I spoke about this last night on the United stand, and credit to yourself and the few that did turn up yesterday. But it just for me, and I mentioned this last night, mate, and I know you've got this subject at your heart, and that is, I think if anything, what yesterday showed is how split the fan base is right now, how it's taken one major event like a Super League and the threat of losing our normal Premier League for the whole of the fan base to come together. But when it comes to the Glazers, mate, nothing's ever going to happen as long as the fan base is so split. And then a call to arms for everyone to come together. I know people can't make it. It is a time of year when people are out shopping, family stuff and whatnot. But still, for the crap that comes on social media, and if anyone has got to say something about it on social media, then biggest hypocrites of all, in my opinion, mate. But Saeed, mate, this split fan base isn't going to get us anywhere with what's needed for this football club and how the fans are feeling and what the end goal, really, we all want together. It's a million miles away, mate.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Glazer are the problem itself, but I think there's another problem, and that's the fans, to be honest with you. I think there's elitist mentality that's kind of reaping throughout the fan base, in my opinion. I think there's a fan base with a lot of egos, and I think as a fan base, that has maybe a selfish point of view of how they perceive Man United, and I say that in a way where they might see 20, 30 years ago as a crisis, or we've seen far worse. And for me, I think that's a selfish point of view, because at the end of the day, you're almost kind of like, in terms of people who want success now and the people who haven't seen success, I think it's a selfish point of view. And I just think for me, yesterday, and by the way, I didn't even organize this protest. I attended it, and that was a kind of misfortune of people kind of spreading lies. I didn't really organize it. I attended it, and that's the problem where I think a lot of people are. Are they willing to attend any Glazer protest? And I don't think it will ever happen again. I'll be honest with you. You talked about the Super League. I think that was for Super League purposes, and nobody wants to hear that, but that's their own opinion. But I genuinely believe we only attended that because it was Super League purposes. I don't think there will ever be a time where we'll gather as a fan base to say, you know what, there'll be a protest going on, and we finally sort a date out. Because I hear a lot of people saying, you know, you should do it on a big game, but when is a big game? You know what I mean? When are people going to do that big game? You know what I mean? And is it about time? Is it about preference? You know, you're never going to get a preference for every fan base, are you? So for me, I went there with the sole intention of we wanted our voices heard. We got that because the media were there in terms of Sky and other broadcasting, whoever was there. We got the message out there. It was exposed, but it can only be consistent as the people. You know, so if the people of United fans are consistent and they let their egos aside and say, you know what, I'm not coming because so-and-so is going. I'm not going because I don't get along with that so-and-so group. And we have that same things that are happening in every single sector of the United fan base. And for me, I don't think we're ever going to get to a stage where the Glazers will go. And people will say, well, you know, the money side of it, you know, but they'll always find other ways of finding out money. But if they see the discontent and we start working as a group, and maybe we do walkouts, and I'm happy to do that as long as it's a united front, you know what I mean? And that's the reality. So for me, people can mock the protest yesterday, but at least people are doing something rather than you not doing anything at all, man. You just sat at home. For me, wanting a protest to fail, I've never heard of that, in my life. I've ever heard you wanted a protest to fail. You know, it's unheard of. It's absolutely unheard of. But that's the way they are. The fan base is at the minute. It's very, very split, and it's toxic as well.
Yeah, I mean, Keane, mate, from afar, obviously you do get over to Old Trafford. I've seen you myself at a few games this season, mate. I mean, from afar, I mentioned this also on United Stand last night about Gary Neville's comments saying there's a separation of the fan base between match-going fans and social media fans and whatnot, and saying that the social media fans are the problem. Yeah, I understand a part of that. And what Saeed was saying there, Keane, mate, does sort of roll into that in terms of, you know what, social media does give you a platform to slag off someone who you don't like. It's got nothing to do at all with combining and going in for what's best for the football club. Gary Neville's comments regarding match-going fans backing Ole and whatnot, I mean, how do you take it? Because that's pretty much, I mean, I'm only saying this now to you, Keane, because I obviously go to every game. Saeed goes to most of the games this season as well. Likes of you and Jamie, though, Keane, mate, you've sort of been like targeted there, in my opinion, by Gary Neville's comments. And it's people like you, the big fans who can't get to every game. It's impossible to go to every game. Not every fan has the opportunity and has the, you know what I mean, the chance to go to these games, hasn't got the privilege to go to every single game that they can. And where does that sort of Gary Neville comment? Because I think he's stirring the pot even more with this. It really riled me when I heard him talking about what he was talking about, because it is, I think he's just building up here another issue just to sort of cover his own back for what he said. And I do feel like people like Gary Neville are part of the problem right now within this fan base, mate. I mean, how did you take it when you seen it? First of all, I'm guessing you have seen what Gary Neville said regarding this split in the fan base, Keane, mate. I mean, because I looked at like the likes of you, Jamie, you know what I mean, other people who come on this show, lots of Flawless and everyone like that who can't get to every game. This is like going direct at them, saying that you guys are the problem. I mean, where are you at with it right now in terms of what's being said around the club and this whole sort of toxicity on social media rather than actual match-going fans? Because I know what it's like in the ground, mate. I mean, you tell me, what's it like watching from afar now and listening to comments like that, Keane?
I think with Neville, like, he's very active on social media at the moment. And one thing I'd say is he should know his audience with a comment like that, because the certain fan on social media that blasts the football club are people with fake profile pictures, people with, you know, anonymous accounts who go in and just slander or whatever everybody at the club, fans, you know, players, managers, whoever else. But to say that someone who doesn't go to a game isn't a proper fan, then look, that's in bad taste for me. Because like, look, I go to a good few games a season. Obviously, I don't have a season ticket. Hopefully, we'll have one next season, you know, so I can travel every week and fly over. But this to try put like a divide in the fan base and say, like, you know, the social media fan are sending out a wrong message. Well, what about fans who boo in the stadium? Are they a social media fan even though they're in the stadium? Like, I think there's a fine line saying a social media fan and a fan. Like, fair enough, right? I don't think Ollie's good enough anymore, right? And I've proactively said on Twitter in the last kind of month or so, on the back of these few results, he's not the right man for the job or whatever, but I still support the team. But does that make me just a social media fan by saying he's not the right man for the job? I think that the line that Gary Neville did say there, it's in kind of mistaste and probably a miseducated line, if I be quite honest. And Neville talks about people who, like players, especially in these last couple of weeks, though slandering them about their use of social media and their social media teams being on their accounts. Well, Gary, what I would say with regards to that is you're alienating a section of the fan base of a worldwide football club, which is a billion-pound entity. And that's due to the worldwide fan base. Like, you fans from everywhere who go to games, and obviously due to COVID now, it probably is, you know, not the same as it used to be. But you can't alienate a section of the fan base, because what that does, it creates division. It causes more arguments on social media, at the ground, at the pub, or wherever the fans may be. It's the way he said it. He didn't say it in the right way. And the problem about that is now that creates more division towards him, division towards people like me, people like Jamie or Flawless or whatever fan, you know, doesn't go every single week. A fan's a fan at the end of the day. People have opinions. There might be some times I mightn't agree with Jamie. There might be times where I don't agree with Saeed or I don't agree with Adam. But at the end of the day, an opinion's an opinion. But at the end of the day, we all support Manchester United Football Club. And that's really the most important thing. And the reason why I didn't even put my own social media handle on this account tonight is you look at the people like the Glazers who are just an absolute cancer to this football club. And what the Glazers want right now is us to be fighting with each other. Us to be, you know,
taking the focus off
them. Like, fair enough, Ollie's not the right man for the job, and we all know that at this moment in time. Like, he's I wouldn't say outstayed his welcome, but he's taken us to a point where he's taken us where he's most capable of taking us to. He's taken us from C to B, and we need someone to bring us to A. That's a fair assessment. But the Glazers do not give a shit about this football club. And at the end of the day, the focus should be on them at this moment in time. Not on, you know, the social media fan base or fan channels, United podcasts, whatever you want to say. Because when the Super League was going on, Gary Neville was so proactive against the Glazers. Because let's call a spade a spade. His job was on the line. Because Sky Sports weren't happy that the Super League was happening, that there was a breakaway league. So how come Gary's gone all quiet about the Glazers all of a sudden? That's what I'd like to know. Because he's a proper, supposed to be a proper Manchester United man. Why is he gone quiet on the Glazers?
That's it. Exactly, mate. This is it. I mean, first of all, I just want to thank all the spammers in the chat for helping me hit the YouTube algorithms. Cheers for that, fellas. Yeah, you're doing a great job there. My mods will deal with you, but thanks for putting it out there on YouTube while you're at it. Top man. Oh, clueless. Anyway, Jamie, mate, I mean, on this, you've been to a few games. You sat next to me, mate. I think your last game was the Villa game, and you said to me there and then, this club right now, your words were, it's cuts deep. I remember it well after that Villa game. And I mean, my warning sign came against Newcastle. And it just seemed like now that everyone can see the results on the pitch and the football being so dire, it seems to be trying to be diverted away from what is going on the pitch right now, mate. And we've seen a lot this week. We've seen the likes of Solskjaer go on holiday. This is a joke. We're going to get into this in detail in a minute, but it just seems to be a lot of diverted tactics going on right now. I mean, you've been there, mate. You know what the atmosphere is like, and believe me, it's been 20 times worse after that Aston Villa game. Saeed will vouch for that. people are saying to me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has brought back the feel-good factor to Old Trafford. It's well and truly gone, mate. It's well and truly gone because we didn't have booing like this with Van Gaal and Mourinho. It's got that far now. And it does seem like the football club is trying to isolate a certain amount of football fans, United fans. They're trying to make it look good. And I think this is where, like Saeed was talking about, Jamie, mate, this is where the likes of Gary Neville, the so-called top Reds or whatever they are actually all sort of in cahoots with the football club in terms of trying to make things look better than what they are right now, because it's obvious right now to every single fan. I think that there has been a turning point that standards have started to drop, and there's a big backlash now, mate. From you, mate, from what you've seen after the Aston Villa game in this football club, where are you at with it in terms of the fan base, the split, the players, the way it's going about Ole, the way the media are, the pundits are? I mean, how do you see it right now in terms of this club going forward, mate? Because I don't see us moving forward at all, mate. I can't see anything but going backwards right now.
Yeah. Yeah, it was the Everton game, wasn't it, Matt? The last time
Everton,
I got down, you were kind enough to offer me down to that one. So I got the Villa and the Everton game. And
I'm a nice guy, mate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you are, mate. You are.
Contrary to belief.
You did offer me the Liverpool and the City one. I'm so glad I didn't take you up in the nicest
mate,
possible
do you know
way,
what, mate? In terms of decisions, they were the best two decisions you ever made, mate.
To be fair, like the Man City, the Liverpool game was on my birthday, man. And that really hurt me, man. Because it was like, I had a lovely day with my missus, planned some lovely stuff. And then I come home, got excited to hopefully us get and we just got drummed. And I don't know if any of you boys know this. Maybe you won't, Saeed. Keen might. But like my missus is a Liverpool fan. So it like,
oh my God.
I was inconsolable. It was lucky it was my birthday. I would have got even more stick than she gave me. So anyway, I'm going a bit off topic there. Sorry about that. But yeah, I did say to you, Adam, didn't I? That I think you asked me whether I thought we should be in a title race now, and I said I didn't. And I might have even said that on Keane's platform, or him, because obviously talked with him off camera as well. I just didn't see us challenging for the title. I know it's like bringing Varane, Sancho, Ronaldo. It's great, yeah. And like I was as excited, and I was retweeting everything with Ronaldo. Me and Keane were like two little kids on the phone, like giggling to each other when we heard Ronaldo was signing, you know. And I got up on that hype train as well with Varane coming out against Leeds and all that sort of stuff. But I just couldn't. I haven't seen enough progression in the last 2 years, and I've had that view on Ole for a long time, and it's quite vocal on my Twitter that I haven't been 100% behind him. I've supported him as in like I've not been Ole out, but I haven't been convinced, shall we say. That's probably the right word that I'm looking for. And I just didn't think that it was going to go to plan, because there's better teams in the league and there's better managers in the league, especially with Tuchel coming in as well now. Who, in my opinion, Conte, Tuchel, yeah, Chelsea, Conte even come in, and there's another example of a manager we could have on the touchline now, but I'm not going into that anyway because there's no point now because he's at Tottenham. But for me, it's like I get the Glazer thing, and I'm Glazer out as well. Of course I am, and like I appreciate like the work Saeed and people like that do to get people to understand that the agenda's bigger than the manager. It's not just about players and the staff and the manager. It's the bigger issue is from the top of the tree. And big respect to you, Saeed, for trying to push people in that direction. You can get as much banter as you possibly want online, but like just take it on you've took it on the chin well anyway, because you're coming on here and speaking your piece, so fair play to you. But it's easy to laugh and have an opinion, but the same people that are probably mocking Saeed and mocking anybody else that has an opinion on going to the ground and protesting, they're probably the ones that are hashtagging Glazer out, not willing to do anything with it. So that's what I would say on that one. I don't know why someone's wishing me happy birthday, but
it's because Keane's asked everyone in the comments to wish you happy birthday, mate. He's had your pants down.
Oh, really? All right. Cheers, lads. Anyway, nice one. It's in October, but nice one.
Belated, but happy birthday, mate.
For me, it's about the performances, Adam. Like this, I know there's Keane used the word, and I don't like to use it because I've had family members that have had cancer, but they are a cancer to the club. And I totally do get that. And they are the biggest issue at the football club. We are never going to be that club we were until they're gone. And I just hope they're gone before my lifetime. I'm hoping they are. I'm only 32 years old, but I'm hoping they're not in charge much longer. You know, I hope they're going to get bored with it and think there's not more money to rinse out of this. And we can all have a party outside Old Trafford and get our club back. But until that happens, it is what it is. Like, I'm all for protests, and I would travel to Manchester from Newcastle and protest with every single one of you if it's going to get a movement going that's going to be consistent. Because that's the one thing for me. And I will liken it to up in Newcastle, but I'll get onto that in a minute. Because of me living in Newcastle, there's kind of a little vibe here that I'll drop in a minute. But for me, the pressure on the fan base at the moment is split, and to be mocked for being a social media supporter. I had a Man United shirt on a couple of days into my life. Do you know what I mean? I've never known anything bar Manchester United. I'm not from Manchester. I'll hold my hands up and say that. I'm from Northamptonshire, but my dad is a massive Manchester United fan who used to go to quite a lot of games when he was a bit younger, and he was around our sort of age. He was quite regularly at Old Trafford. He brought me up a Man U fan. I never known anything else. And for me, the bigger issue stems for whether you're Ollie in, whether you're Ollie out, whether you're a parasite social media fan, whether you're this, whether you're that. It doesn't matter. Like, everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Like the four guys on the panel, we'll all have different opinions on different subjects on the club, but we're entitled to that, and we're respectful of that, to listen to each other and have debates like we're doing tonight. But for me, the black and white of it all is we have not progressed as a football club in the last 3 years. Players are actually digressing. And for me, that's the biggest issue. And that's why I'm so like, we need a new manager now. We all know we need the Glazers out, but Ole Gunnar Solskjaer ain't going to take us to where we want to go. He physically doesn't have the capability. He doesn't have the staff. He doesn't have the managerial experience, the understanding of certain aspects of the club at top level football, because he isn't a top level manager. And whether people want to criticize me for saying that or not, I don't care, because anyone can call me whatever they want. I like to think I can understand ball, as they say. And I do look at football from a tactical perspective and stuff. And I have sat with you, Adam, as well, like you said earlier, mate. And we've sort of laughed together, ain't we, at the state of how we were playing and what needed to change.
This is it, mate.
Like that.
This is it, mate. On that, Jamie, there, it's like Karen took the kids in with a super chat there. Cheers, mate. It says, the club's a victim of its own success. Difficult to hit the owners in the pocket when half the match-going fans are not local. The local fans are out because consumers are worth more than them. It's like the old added topic that me and Saeed constantly talk about. It's one of, if we were to give up our season ticket, it would be taken up by what they call what did the Glazers call them? What were they?
Legacy
the fans. Legacy fans. You know what I mean? Yeah. All this, we know what's going to happen if we give up. Someone else will come in who will spend more money and not think anything of it. This is where they wanted it to go. And you know what? We've all had our piece there on the Glazers. We all know what is wrong with this football club. The facts are, this conversation's been rolling on for so long. I'm absolutely bored of it. I just wanted to get Saeed's take on yesterday and your guys' on the comments. But guys, ultimately, we have to move on to football, because we're not going to give up supporting our football club, and we have to dissect and talk through what is actually happening right now. And right now, I'm not even going to get into the absolute bollocks that went on with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer giving the players an option whether they wanted to train or go on holiday. It just highlights how pathetic this football club is being run right now.
It's embarrassing, that.
Anthony Martial is jet skiing on the Persian Gulf. Marcus Rashford and Mason Greenwood are training with the youth team. The club is a mess, and that's training with your manager fishing in Norway at the most pivotal time of our football season. God, I'm frothing off at the mouth. Go figure. You can tell how much this riles me. This absolutely boils my piss. It really does. They're coming back this week, side though, mate. I mean, let's get God, we have to. But I mean, title of this video is "False Start United." The club trying to make you believe that we can go again. We can't. We know we can't because we're out of the title race, mate. And that was the only thing that was going to help me get through this season. Back in Ole, I said this from the start. We said he needed what he needed to do. Looking forward, mate. Watford this weekend. Arsenal, Chelsea. Mate, I'm looking at about 3 points there, and I'm thinking we're lucky to get them at the moment. That's where I'm at with it.
I know.
But I honestly, mate, right now, I don't know who's in charge. I don't know who's calling the shots. There's rumours of talks of Zidane now. I look at it and I go, something has to be happening behind the scenes side because this is this is beyond a joke, mate. There's no control over anything. Look like absolute amateurs right now.
Yeah, mate, we are. And that's a sad reality, mate, because when you look at where we're going right now and you look at the, in terms of like, I'm not buying into this Zidane and all this. I can't be asked. I'm too tired to even think about that. I'm just looking at thinking, Watford game, even when I look at the Watford game have got a tough run of fixtures. You always know that there's always one victory they get from that, and it could be United. Then you look at the Chelsea game, you're thinking, no chance. They've got more to play for. They know that they're on a tighter race as well. Then you got the Arsenal game, which has always been sticky. We hardly beat them, especially with Arteta. So it's like, for me, what are we fighting for? And when you talk about tighter race, that's what we were talking about at the start of the season with Ronaldo, Varane, Sancho, the strength in depth, Pogba, Bruno. You're looking at strength in depth, and you're thinking, wow, we've got two teams here. And we were thinking about the kind of the amazing kind of like, things we could do this season, but it's almost like it shouldn't be a false start though. It shouldn't be a kind of a new start. It should have been the end. Should have been the end of Liverpool, and then maybe go into a new hope in the Manchester derby. That would have been a perfect time for a new manager. But we haven't done that, and this is so bad when you look at when we were protesting yesterday, and when you look at the kind of feeling that we want is that these guys at the top are incompetent because this man is almost on his last legs, and it's like when you watch that movie and it's like they're on the floor, then they get the final nail in the coffin. That's what it feels like. It feels like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has got nothing left to give, but he's almost waiting for that inevitable knock on the door to say, right, can you come into Adam's boardroom and say, right, we're ready for that talk. And it's not happening.
He's scared to come into my boardroom, believe me. He's scared to come in this one.
So it's like, unless they knock on his door, he's just going to be like, right, I've still got time left then. I'm all right. Can I go on holiday? Yeah, you're a legend. Yeah, you can do what you want, mate. You've got a free pass, haven't you? And you can go on holiday. Everyone go holiday. And then it's like the last week of school, isn't it? When the school teacher tells you, what?
Yeah.
We're not doing anything this week. We're just
put a video on.
Video on, that's it. But what was it? What was that guy called? The narrator for David Attenborough. Put a bit of David Attenborough on.
Yeah, let's
study that.
Put some wildlife.
Wildlife. And that's what school is now. Literally everyone's just doing what they want. Non-uniform. Chill out. Just relax.
I mean, King, mate, do you think Ole, like Prem Predator says in the chat there, do you think he's waiting for his 8 million payout? You think he feels like he's done Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Because his body language is one of a guy that's defeated to me. I mean, he's never looked this dejected. He's always been quite bullish, but I can even tell in his tone, it feels like he's lost it. That's what it seems to me, mate. I mean, where are you at with it, Key, mate? Do you think there is still a chance that anything might happen this week?
Probably not, because this ownership is just too much. They're shitty arses. They'll do nothing, and they'll wait till Champions League is gone before he's gone. But look, if there was an ideal time to do it, you would have done it after the City game. But look, there's a full 2 weeks for a new manager to come in, get the players who weren't on international duty, get to know them, get a style of play implemented, etc., etc. But again, we don't operate like a football club. We operate like a business. So ideally, that should happen. But in terms of Ollie, if you look at the way his body language has been, I've never seen him so with a defeatist attitude in the last kind of 2.5 or so years he's been here. There's always been a possibility to positivity coming out of him that he can turn it around. And though he's always, he always has a bit of fight about him. But the fact of the matter is, when you have players going off, when he has given players a week off after a result like that, it's like it almost himself and some of the players have mentally checked out. From this season, they've already kind of written it off. And
Ollie's at the reel says
Please don't come back.
that's actually a good one. I mean, I hope he comes back and he's safe. I don't want any of that crap that was spouted on social media about any harm coming to him. But
yeah,
Ollie, I wish you all the best in the future, mate. But that's where I'm at with that one. Like Deezy says there, that's the general feel, Keane, right now, mate. It's a case of I've lost all. And you know what? All the messages I'm getting, Keane, mate, and I get loads, as I'm sure you guys do as well. Saeed, you especially as well, mate. But it's like the dejection in the fan base right now. And I'm like, I'm quite a positive guy. People think I am negative the way I club. I know what this team is. I know what good players we've got right now. We were all thinking title challenge. So we should. That's a positive.
Considering where we finished the last 2 years.
Yeah. That for me, mate, is where we should be.
What we want. But Adam, if you look for the last 2 years, he looks third, second, right? And then you buy Varane, Sancho, and Ronaldo. The minimum expectation, regardless you're all in, all out, shake it all about, whatever you are, was a title challenge this season. Because you brought in world-class players on top of a team that came second in the league last season. That's a realistic expectation. And I said on this channel back in August, give Ollie the season. He has his players in. This is before we signed Ronaldo, by the way. I was like, give him the season, see where he is, and then get him sacked. Then we signed Cristiano Ronaldo. You signed the most clutch striker in the history of football almost. And he still produced a good 36 years of age. Of course, we want a title challenge. Like, for God's sake, Liverpool didn't buy anyone of any significance this season. What, Kanate and whoever else, and a sub left back. And they've got better this season, as a result of good coaching and obviously lack of injuries. But you brought in a world-class centre-back, a world-class striker, and one of the most promising wingers in European football. Come on, like, a title challenge is bare minimum. And being in contention for trophies, not battling with no disrespect to the teams that were in our Champions League group. Minnows, compared to the team we have now. You know?
True.
At the end of the day, you have to be making further progression from 2 good years. If you regress, like in any job, not just football, if you regress, you get let go, and it's simple as that, really.
It's Jamie, mate. Paul's asked me this question, but I'm going to throw it straight to you, mate. We know we're not going to get any further with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now. I think he knows it. Everybody knows. By the way, everybody, well over 700 in the room of us watching live. Do give the video a like, guys. Absolutely awesome numbers tonight, as always. But Jamie, getting back to it, Rodgers, we're sort of all, in a way, a lot of people weren't too keen on him. A lot of people then were looking at it going, maybe the club are taking the time doing it right. Oh, God, that's wishful thinking itself. But, you know what I mean? It does look like Rodgers was the only hope after Conte had gone. I was on United Stand talking about this the other night, mate. I mean, Rodgers and his qualities. I mean, is that the type of manager that we want right now? Is it a case of everyone is just that flat and desperate to see half decent football that they will take anyone right now?
I think that's got a little bit to do with it. I think that the majority of fans, probably say 90% of the fan base, want a change. The football's absolutely diabolical at Old Trafford at the moment. It has been very consistent through Ollie's tenure. I can probably count on both hands how many good games we've had for a solid 90 minutes under Ollie. Probably on one hand, if I'm honest with you. And that was the thing for me when I said to you on Adam, like, I wasn't joking about that. And I think I had some young lad standing next to me at the time when I was doing that. And he gave me a bit of a dodgy look when I says I didn't think we were going to be in the title race. And I just remember his face, like, saying, like, whoa, because he was quite shocked that I said it. But I just didn't see it. Like, I don't see enough qualities in the manager. And I feel like everybody's being linked with the job now. Like, you hear, like, I just see someone posting in the comment, and it gave me a little chuckle that I had to put my computer on mute because he says, like, Zidane will be shopping for houses in Cheshire with Rodgers then. And I'm just like, that's what it is at the moment, you know? Like,
clutching at straws, aren't we?
Yeah,
it is,
definitely.
mate.
Like, I think everybody just needs a lift. Like, I think that's what it is. We're all flat as a pancake, and the only logic I can make into it, and I mean, I don't know much. You must be sick of my WhatsApp messages, Adam, because it's constantly asking you if you've heard anything regarding the management situation. If you don't reply, I won't take it personally, mate.
Right, I mean, Said will vouch for this, mate. And you know what? We're not sort of saying like we are the voice or anything like that. We just like to bring the voice of the fans and everyone who wants to have a say to our channels and our platforms.
Absolutely.
But we do get absolutely smashed to pieces by DMs. And this is why we do these sort of videos, so we can get everyone in, so they can all have a say in the chat and whatnot and listen. We do take all of the DMs seriously. We do listen. And you know what? It gives us a lot of content to go in to our videos as well. So we don't reply to every message. We do bring that into our content because we want to speak for fans as well and how everyone's feeling. It's not negative. It's just inevitable, I say, the way it is at the moment, because we're not seeing anything from the players, mate. And when the players look as flat as they do, and I think my biggest concern was Bruno Fernandes against City. He spoke after the game like he played in it, like he'd given up, mate. And that was the killer sign for me. And it's like, if you lose the players, the fans are gone. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
United fans don't walk out of Old Trafford, mate, at half-time. They did. United fans don't boo. They booed. And the United players, mate, are going the same way. They're seeing no end products here. And at this horrible stage and this crucial time in United's history, everyone's going doing what they want to do on holiday, mate. So is there any reason to argue against the fans being upset, mate? There isn't, is there?
No, man. And that's why, for me, fans have a right to say everything as long as it's kind of like within the reasons and it's nothing personal. You know, there's nothing kind of like, you know, we're not calling for people's heads and whatnot. You know, everything's because a lot of people, a lot of fans, we pay our hard-earned money, and it's not a given, right? But what we can do is we kind of like we can voice our concerns, and that's what we've been doing. But there's lack of authority, there's lack of kind of you know, accountability, you know, and that's the reality, you know. And a lot of people are, and that's why I said something about these players being unsupervised, because are they being told what to do? Is there any direction for the manager? Is there kind of any talks? Because we're hearing all these leaks and we're thinking, how does Donny van der Beek still want to leave? Is he been told that he's not playing this year? You know what I mean? So the whole squad is disjointed, you know. And I was like talking to my friend the other day, yeah, which one would you rather have, the first team or the second team? Because now it's even got to the point where people are saying, you know what, the second team's better in terms of they'd be at least more kind of adaptable to play football.
But this is it, Said, mate. Said, mate, I'm gonna open that up to everyone here. Might as well have a bit of fun with this, because you know what I mean. We are trying to entertain ourselves. So let's go for it. I think everyone would say David De Gea in goal. Yeah, you take Dave. Good couple of mistakes, but let's be honest. He's been he's been our best player. I've got to hold my hands up. I have my doubts, as everyone knows, but he's proved me wrong this season, so I'm not going to argue against that. Said, mate, left back right now, who are you going with?
If I'm being honest, I would give Tellers a shout.
I would, you, mate. I'm totally with you. I think Shaw's been an absolute. He's had a shocker. I think he's been horrendous. I mean, Keane, mate. Give me a left back, mate. Who right now, as a United fan, with the mood you're in right now, how would you like to see it? Never mind what he's done before. Just going off what you're witnessing right now, what would you do?
I'd stick. If you're looking at current form, like I'm one of the biggest Luke Shaw stands you'll find out there. But man, he's out of form. You have to play players who are in form. And Tellez, last game he played, scored a goal. So you play Alex Tellez. But can I just touch on right back, Adam?
Go for it, mate. We'll start there with you, mate.
People might think this is a hot take now, but I drop Wan-Bissaka and I bring Ethan Laird back from Swansea and I'll start him right back. If you want to play an attacking system, there's someone you're throwing there.
I mean, would Rodgers do that if he came in, Jamie, mate? Because this is a man who likes a bit of youth. Maybe Rodgers is, I said this the other day, maybe Rodgers is sitting back letting United completely implode. So he comes in and can pick up the pieces then, mate. Because coming into this ship right now, the way the players are, and how mixed up this squad is, I wouldn't blame a manager for not coming in to United right now, mate. Because it's a sort of poison chalice, mate. But going into what Keane said there, I mean, left back, right back, who would your fullbacks be right now after what you've witnessed, Jamie?
People might generally disagree with me here, but like watching Brendan Rodgers at Celtic, I ain't a Celtic fan. I only support Man United, but I have a bit of a soft spot for Celtic because my family are from Scotland. Like my dad's side of the family are like originally from Scotland, so I've always like had a soft spot for Celtic. And the football he played at Celtic was the best football I've ever seen at Celtic. And going off of the teams that I watched him play at Celtic, I know the league's completely different, so do bear that in mind when I'm saying this. But I think if Brendan Rodgers came in to United and had the time to work with the players, I wouldn't be surprised if Dalot played. I honestly wouldn't. Because if you watch Pereira at Leicester, Dalot's the only sort of player in the squad that plays that same sort of type of attacking game. And Pereira's an attacking right back, Portuguese right back, as well as Dalot. I'm not saying Dalot would be my personal choice, but if we're going off of the media at the moment, Adam, it's going to be Sancho at right back if it keeps going.
Do you know what? On that,
hey, Adam pitched that on my channel. Adam pitched that on mine.
I did. You know what?
You got a laugh, didn't you?
Guys, just a quick one. We've over 1,000 in the room with us today. Amazing views.
Wow, big up,
absolutely man. Smash it. Give the video a like, guys, as well.
Big up.
This is it on an international break as well. Top pick, hot topic, guys. On that Keane just brought up there, I did say, and I said this before this broke, and Keane will vouch for this. You can go back and watch Keane's video. I said it before this all came out, but this was under the guidance of Antonio Conte. This is how I thought Antonio Conte would come into this messed up squad, which it is messed up. Let's be honest, guys. It is. It's all round pegs, square holes, and everyone playing out of position. This is how I thought Antonio Conte would approach it. I thought he would have gone and converted Sancho to a right back to fit his 3-4-3, 3-5-2 / formation. That's how I thought it would be. I thought, but Ollie brought Sancho in as a right winger. It's plain and simple. There's no getting around it. And the fact that Ollie changed his formation now, I'm not reading anything into that crap. I'm not at all. He's just changed it completely all of a sudden because it's gone Pete Tong. So for me, Ollie's got no excuse for doing what he's doing right now. It's a failure in my eyes, the fact that he's even thinking about this. And if I was Sancho, I'd be shit scared right now if it was Ollie in charge of converting him. If a manager with pedigree comes in, Ollie, we can adapt this to make it work wing back, because Sancho's record of tracking back is in the game than any other United fan. Because we were running for the door against Man City, any other United player. And he only played half a game. Now, that's crazy stats on its own. I couldn't believe it when I seen that. But that just shows you exactly what kind of player Sancho is.
Adam, would he refuse? Sorry to cut you in there. Would a player like Sancho say, you know what? I'm not doing that. I don't want to play right wing back. That's what I wasn't brought for.
If it was under Ole, yeah. Because he hasn't got the pedigree, mate. What's Sancho got to convince him that Ollie is going to be able to convert him? Having seen what he's seen, having seen Martial, Lingard, Donny van der Beek not getting to the international squads anymore. Why would Sancho say to Ollie, all right, I'm on board with that? I don't think he would, mate, is the answer to your question, Saeed. I mean, I'm going off on a tangent here. I mean, let's move on with the team. Saeed, mate, give me 2 centre-backs right now, if everyone's fit.
I would go Varane and Bailly.
Exactly the same. I mean, it's right, Saeed, though, isn't it, mate? I mean, I seen a centre-back performance from Varane this season, which gave me encouragement, and I've seen one from Bayer. I've not seen one from Lindelof or Maguire.
My centre-back pair would probably be Bailly, Varane, or I see Mark, it has the other sentiment I had, Varane and Tuanzebe next season. That would be a good blend as well. But
also, quickly, sorry, I just had to bring up Raf's super chat there that I didn't read out before, mate. No, I did see it, mate. There is no beef between anyone on social media, mate, in terms of us and United Stand. We're all good. We're all absolutely mint, mate, so don't worry about that, pal. And no, guys, I will be on United Stand as well later at 8 o'clock, so stop stressing. Stress about what happens on United's pitch. That's what you should be stressing about, not me. Don't worry, I'm okay. I'm okay, everyone. Well, until I get to Old Trafford, that is. But, you know, hope springs eternal and all that. But, Keane, centre-backs by Varane, probably?
By Varane, or I called Tuanzebe back. I do not want Harry Maguire in our centre back pairing. I'm sick.
So basically, out of our back five, Jamie, mate, including the keeper, from what we know Ollie would pick, we've changed 3 players already in terms of both full backs and 1 centre back, because Varane would be picked under Ollie. We know that anyway, and so would David De Gea. So, I mean, guys, let me know in the comments if you agree. But right now, we're looking at it going, Varane stays, De Gea stays, but we will have no issues, Jamie, with changing the other 3 defenders.
No, I don't know whether Dalot would play. That was based off of Rodgers. He probably, if you want a consistent right back, you probably are going to go with Bissaka. Although I don't really think he's doing too much to warrant a position like being a banker starter anyway this season. Ethan Laird is a great shout. I mean, we've brought 2 loans back already to bolster the team. So that just says how bad it gets with wanting Laird and Tuanzebe to come back off the loan.
He is going to be a superstar.
He's fantastic. It's right. Like Bailey and Varane, just that it's balance of the team. Like Maguire, like honestly, I don't want to get into why we paid 80 million because we can't change it. But you've just got to realise that Leicester had our pants down big style. And to be honest, if Rodgers comes, Adam, if Rodgers does come, can he bring Fofana with him and they can have Maguire back?
Hey, mate. Harry Maguire was playing well under Rodgers. Maybe we get the old Harry Maguire back under Brendan Rodgers. You never know, mate.
The celebration for England was just embarrassing.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even want to go into that, mate. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. Yeah, I'm all for United players doing well on international duty, but come on, the standards. I mean, your captain scored an hat-trick in that game and he barely raised his hand in the air. So let's just calm down a little bit, eh? Oh, God. Anyway, I love Harry Maguire. I do think there's a defender in there, but right now I would drop him. Simple.
Absolutely.
I think the guy needs help.
Harry Maguire is Shane Duffy. Like, they're the same defender, just different nationalities.
Keane's dropping bombs here tonight, people. The English Shane Duffy's in the house now. He's on it. I tell you what, that rugby union team does well, and Keane gets all bullish. I'm telling you, he's on the new lease of life.
He's not fit either, Adam. He's not fit. Like, he doesn't have time to get fit. Like, so people can criticise Maguire. He's probably paying at 40. Just bad management yet again. Look at Varane, rushed back. Now he's injured. Like, it's just. I'm not going to.
Oh yeah, right. Let's carry on with it. Said, take me into midfield, mate. Should we stick with a 4-2-3-1? Because this is what Ollie's going to end up going back with, innit? Right. I think this is going to be the easiest one. I do think happy to make everybody's day. Loving the show tonight. God, Said, mate, it doesn't take much of an explanation to talk out through our 2 holding midfielders, mate. I mean, we know he's going to go with McFred. Are we changing McFred?
Absolutely, we're changing that McFred, mate.
Get that out,
mate.
He's done it.
I want to see that ever again.
All right, this is interesting, though. This is interesting, though, Said, mate. Give me the 2 midfielders. Who are we putting in there? And everyone's fit right now, Said. Everybody's fit, yeah? We're just playing a game with it right now, people, because we know if everyone was fit, we'd still go with this team that we're debating against right now. So, Said, mate, who's the middle 2?
I'm going to go with Matic and Donny.
I like it.
Yeah, Matic and Donny.
I like that.
At this feeling right now, Matic and Donny.
Is Pogba gone for you, Said, mate, you reckon?
Yeah, because for me, like, I feel like for me, I've seen it with Matic and Pogba. It worked with maybe when it was Herrera, but it just hasn't worked since Herrera. You know, I mean, we've tried to find it out, but I think Pogba's position in this team is just—it's not there. It was on the left for me. I'd rather him on the left of the attack for me, and have him there. But then again, you're gonna get a different side of the team, so you won't fit in. So that's why I'm putting McTominay. Sorry, not McTominay. You having a laugh?
Oh,
Donny Van der Beek and Matic. Because I'm so used to saying that name, it's just like alienated.
That's it, mate. When we do your preview show on a Friday, it's like, we want it. Oh, let's be honest, it's going to be that.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
it, isn't it? It's what it is, mate. Karen took the kids. Cheers for the super. Does anyone find it hilarious that you wouldn't find any one fan that played the same team as Ole? If I got those coaching badges, I'd keep the receipt. Yeah, well, you know what? You're right. I can't really disagree with it. I don't think there's any fan who would pick the same team Ollie does. I really don't think there is. There's none. Whereas you could argue that point that the other top 3 teams, every fan would probably go quite close to what the manager's picking because they believe in the manager. It goes a long way to say how much faith a lot of the fan base has got in the actual management and coaching setup right now. Keen, midfield-wise, mate. Midfield for you, mate. You happy with Donny and Matic, or would you sneak someone else in, mate?
I'm going McFred. Nah, I'm only messing.
Watch out, Keen, I'm coming for you.
No. For the comments, slaughter me. Matic and Donny, I think that gives us the most balance. I think Donny van de Beek is someone who I really want to see get a chance in this midfield because, fair enough, I think Paul Pogba, we all know he's on his way. If that's not the case, then look, let's play Donny van de Beek. Let's have one eye on the future. You know, like he's a very good midfield player. He's flexible, can play as an 8 or a 10. Let's get it going. Let's give Matic, these last 6 months before we buy a DM. Let's go.
Yeah. Are you happy with that one, Jamie, mate?
Yeah, definitely. I feel like if Donny don't get minutes, he's away in January as well, which is obviously not ideal for the fan base and a new manager, because I feel like if we do bring a high-quality manager in, a Ten Hag, a Rodgers, Donny van de Beek will be in their plans, big style. And it goes back to that word balance again, doesn't it? It's a good balance, that midfield.
Well, I'm saying this. Alien says Matic can't play every game. That's a problem. Well, by the time we get back and into the new year, I don't think we're going to be in every competition. So 1 game a week looks all right, mate, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. Modric is playing at 36, 37 today. I think he's playing in his last World Cup next year. If he can play, listen.
Said, mate, I bet if you asked Matic if he could play every game, he would say yeah.
Absolutely. That's what I'm saying. Everyone's almost become a doctor. He would probably say yeah. But then again, we used to have, I remember Paul Scholes, when he played, when he came back, he used to play about 60 minutes. Darren Gibson would come on for the last 15, 20, or someone else would come on.
You just shouting him. Darren Gibson.
Yeah. And I just feel like, you play them for 70 minutes, you get the job done, and then you take your better players off. But we don't do that, do we?
No. That's it. Matches can play Thursdays. Oh, Karen, that's a deep one. That you can't be saying that. Karen takes the kids. Oh, don't mention Thursday nights.
Thursday's a swear word in this group chat now. Come on.
Yes. Right. Okay. Who am I going with next? Jamie. Bruno stays in for you? Or, it's totally open. Let me know, mate. Do you feel like there is another position there for someone else? Or is it all Bruno?
No, I don't feel he's been the best this season, but that's obviously because of the team dynamics. I don't think Ronaldo's position in the team has helped Bruno, because Ronaldo does drop a bit deeper to get on the ball. So sometimes they're very close together, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it's the team dynamics in general ain't gelling this season. And I think Bruno's probably being one of the scapegoats to go to because he's so good and we hold him in such high standard wise and performance wise, because he dragged us through last season, didn't he? Let's be honest, and expected him to kick on to that next level, and he hasn't quite done that. But I don't think that's necessarily his fault. The coaching don't help, the team don't help, but he's a world class player, and he loves the club. You can see that in his performances. He's got that little bit of quality, and he can win a game on his own with that little pass, that little bit of quality. Or finish himself. He's an absolute stonewall starter for me.
Okay. Does anyone disagree with Bruno?
No.
No, you happy with Bruno?
14 goal contributions in 16 games.
Yeah. I am. I honestly think. Look, you know what? Everyone knows I love Bruno. I'm not against him getting a break or not starting the same game or coming off early to mix it up. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Some of the best players on the planet who ever played for Man United didn't always get 90 minutes every week. And you know what? We've seen what Bruno was like in that first game against Leeds when he'd actually had a decent break. The guy had a rest.
He's not playing tonight for Portugal. That's a good news. I out of the team for Portugal today.
I said, what's Ronaldo? Is Ronaldo playing tonight?
Ronaldo's playing though, yeah. Ronaldo's never gonna.
He just doesn't get the guy. He's ridiculous, mate. He's just on a different planet. Let's forget it. Right, moving forward. This is going to be interesting. The front three. Now then, I'm going to say right now, if I was Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and he was playing this formation, it was going to be Greenwood, Rashford, and Ronaldo in the middle. Do we all agree? Thinking like Ole?
Oh, thinking like Ole, yeah.
Thinking like Ole, because we're gonna debate whether we change that right now. So Ole's team would be Ronaldo, Rashford on the left, Greenwood on the right, if everyone's fit. I think if he had to say he had to pick his so-called go-to men, favourites, dare I say, they would be the three. Keane, change that front three or keep that front three. Switch that however you want to do it for me, mate. What you keeping, what you getting rid of?
Ronaldo obviously stays up top. Sancho comes in on the right, and I keep Rashford on the left for his sheer numbers because he still get you goals. We need runners off Ronaldo. So I think Sancho and Rashford provide us with that. But if Martial can get back fit and he can challenge Rashford, then he won't be a bad option off the left because when he cuts in on that left-hand side, he can be devastating. But definitely Sancho on the right, Rashford on the left, and Ronaldo up top.
I mean, you can be clever with this, boys, and be adaptable with it, but there's not one mention of Cavani yet. And
he's always going to be,
I mean, Said, mate, what's your front three?
Mine is same as Keane's, I think Martial, possibly if he's on form, but again, a good manager rotates well. But the problem is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer never rotated well. But Sancho, definitely right wing. We need to see him more. And stay right wing, not left wing, right wing. And then Ronaldo up top and then Rashford, because again, Kino says we need runners off. So, he helps out Ronaldo. But it's still, and then you can still have a front three of Cavani up top, Ronaldo on the right, Greenwood on the right, Martial on the left. It's crazy, but we have not even seen that. We've not seen anything.
Mentioned Lingard either. Like Lingard has contributed as well.
This is exactly it. I mean, JMF, what would you do with that front three, mate?
Keane will tell you I've got a little bit of a man crush on Cavani. Like I absolutely love him. But if I put him ahead of Ronaldo, I'll never be invited on here again, and I'll get hounded out in the comments.
Hey mate, no, I'm joking. Always welcome, mate. Everyone's up their opinion. I mean, I love Cavani like the next man.
It's got to be Ronaldo. Like as much as I do love Cavani, it has to be Ronaldo. But I'm gonna fling a bit of a spanner in the works. I would go with Sancho on the right, like that's, and I'm gonna use the word balance again, and I might get shot down here, but I'd go for Martial on the left.
Okay,
fair play.
But the rotation that Saeed spoke about, obviously I would want to integrate Rashford and Greenwood because I love Greenwood as well. I absolutely love him and I think he's quality. But I just think balance-wise and on the ball and knowing what to do in the right areas, I just think Martial's got a little bit more about him. Numbers-wise, Rashford's the better player, but I don't see Rashford as that wide player. I'm not 100% convinced by Rashford sometimes on his final product, and I feel like Martial has got a little bit more about that. And if Ricky's listening, he'll be buzzing that I've said that as well.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, guys, interesting there that from the team we know Ollie would pick when the chips are down. So let's just say Liverpool. This is the team that he would pick against the biggest game in English football or world football. Ollie's team is what we laid out there. And we have changed as a group of four, and a lot of people in the comment section have gone along with our decisions. We have changed off my number in there, 7 of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's starting 11. So over half of the team has been completely changed around, and that's how we see it. So you can understand why the fan base, and you know what? It's not so much the big game as well. It's consistently not giving these other players that we've mentioned a chance. Quick super chat here before we finish off. Tom O'Duff says, Adam, I've always wanted Cavani for 60, then Ronaldo for impact. Next week, Ronaldo for 60, Cavani impact player. Keep the rotation going week on week. We can see different things, mate. And it's easy for us to talk about it. But we know Ollie under pressure, he's got his go-to men. And
absolutely,
I'm afraid unless something happens in the next 3 days, because if he's taking training sessions on Wednesday and Thursday, taking press conferences, then I'm scared shitless. And he's going to revert back to what he knows best, which Ollie always does. But guys, we're at the end of the video. It's absolutely flown by. Amazing numbers, over 1,200 in the room here today, guys. Give the video a smash. Give the video a like on the way out, people. As always, it's been absolutely awesome today. Keane, give the people a shout out before we go, where they can catch you on your socials and your agenda-driven Irish rugby union talk. I'm only joking, mate. Go on, mate.
There'll be no rugby to talk about on my channel, man. That's for sure. I haven't fucking clue.
Love that.
But you can catch me on the weekly Armchair Sports Talk, and we do cover all things football, all things Manchester United and Premier League over there. But we are launching also a WWE podcast on there this coming Tuesday.
No rugby, but we've got wrestling.
Yeah, we have wrestling, football, MMA, the lot. So do catch us over there on Tuesday at 9:30.
Jamie, mate, you've been on a few fan cams now with me, fan vlogs on United Stand. I mean, give the people a shout out for your socials as well, mate.
Yeah, just my socials, just at Jam Mackay 1989. You can get me on Twitter. Just always talking United, interacting with people that fancy chatting away to me. It's just the thing on the screen, actually, my name on the screen. Same on Instagram as well. If you want to see what I do outside of football and Twitter life, I actually do have a life as well. And
we all do, mate.
So you'll get me on there. I'm going to the lakes tomorrow morning, down to the Lake District. So if you want to see some footage of mountain climbing and stuff, yeah, get me on Instagram.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. It's all different. Everyone's got a life outside of football. Saeed, you've got a channel covering that as well, mate. So give the people a shout out to both of your channels, pal.
Yeah, Matic TV. Make sure you check that out, and also Matic TV. I think there's a video dropping on 9 o'clock, so check it out, Matic TV.
If you like to watch people eat food and talk about how nice and how poor it is, maybe get on Saeed's channel there, Matic TV, guys. Guys, for now, don't forget, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I usually have a bit of a jingle and a little outro video, but for some reason it's having a spaz out. So I'm just going to end the video there, guys, and say thanks for tuning in. As always, absolutely amazing. Catch me later on the United Stand at 8 o'clock, guys, where we'll be discussing a lot of rumours about Zidane coming out, as we've been on live as well, guys. So I think that's going to be a hot topic. So maybe something will happen this week. We don't know. We live in hope part. For now, we're done. See you later, people. Thank you very much, as always.